In my search for loot, I had wandered far out on the plain, away from the river, but still the mail-clad bodies lay thickly strewn, for the bursting of the ranks had scattered fugitives and pursuers all over the countryside, from the dark wavering wood of Tovar to the river and the seashore, and on the seaward slope of Drumna's headland, out of sight of the city and the plain of Clontarf, I came suddenly upon a dying warrior. He was tall and massive, clad in grey mail. He lay partly in the folds of a great dark cloak, and his sword lay broken near his mighty right hand. His horned helmet had fallen from his head, and his elf locks blew in the wind that swept out of the west. Where one eye should have been was an empty socket, and the other eye glittered cold and grim as the North Sea, though it was glazing with the approach of death. Blood oozed from a rent in his corset. I approached him warily, a strange cold fear that I could not understand gripping me. Axe ready to dash out his brains, I bent over him and recognized him as the chief who had slain Prince Maru, and who had mown down the warriors of the Gale like a harvest. Wherever he had fought, the Norsemen had prevailed, but in all other parts of the field, the Gales had been irresistible. And now he spoke to me in Norse, and I understood, for had I not toiled as slave among the sea people for long, bitter years? The Christians have overcome, he gasped in a voice whose timbre, though low-pitched, sent a curious shiver of fear through me. There was in it an undertone as of icy waves sweeping along a northern shore, as of freezing winds whispering among the pine trees. Doom and shadows stalk on Asgard, and here has fallen Ragnarok. I could not be in all parts of the field at once, and now I am wounded unto death. A spear with a cross carved in the blade. No other weapon could wound me. I realized that the chief, seeing me mistily, my red beard and the Norse armor I wore, supposed me to be one of his own race. But crawling horror surged darkly in the depths of my soul. White Christ, thou hast not yet conquered, he muttered deliriously. Lift me up, man, and let me speak to you. Now, for some reason, I complied, and as I lifted him to a sitting posture, I shuddered, and my flesh crawled at the feel of him, for his flesh was like ivory, smoother and harder than is natural for human flesh, and colder than even a dying man should be. I die as men die, he muttered. Fool to assume the attributes of mankind, even though it was to aid the people who defy me. The gods are immortal, but flesh can perish, even when it clothes a god. Haste and bring a sprig of the magic plant, even holly, and lay it on my bosom, though it be no larger than a dagger point. It will free me from this fleshly prison I put on when I came to war with men, with their own weapons. And I will shake off this flesh and stalk once more among the thundering clouds. Woe, then, to all men who bend not the knee to me. Haste! I will await your coming. His lion-like head fell back, and feeling shudderingly under his corset, I could distinguish no heartbeat. He was dead, as men die, but I knew that locked in that semblance of a human body, there but slumbered the spirit of a fiend of the frost and darkness.